What is going on, YouTube? We are out here on Detroit's west side in Rouge Park. They call it Urban Wilderness Park here at the trailhead at the corner of Outer Drive and Tireman. I wanted to show you this trail, the only official single track here in the city of Detroit, the city which I live in. And it's pretty nice to not have to drive out to the suburbs for a trail sometimes. So, starts off pretty mellow and pedally, but then here we go, right off the jump. Let's have some fun. Woo! Yeah! Oh, it's fun with the leaves on the ground, you can't really see. All right, oh, little squirrely section. Hop over this boy, yeah, into a climb. I first heard about this trail on an MCMBA Facebook group. Somebody mentioned about how there was actually a trail in the city. So I went on Trail Forks to see. And I ended up getting involved, helping volunteer as much as I can. And I'm really stoked on how the trails feel. And here's a little berm we built. Woo! Yeah. And it's surprisingly challenging. It's not just like a newbie ride. Oh, root bridge section. It definitely keeps you on your toes. It's old school, hand-cut single track in the city of Detroit. Pretty cool. And wow, is it kind of fun with all these leaves on the ground. So you can stay the easy line up to the left. We're gonna do the hard line down to the right. Whew. Oh. Sometimes this gets flooded out. There we go, big climb. Yeah. Here we go. You're riding along the ridge of the Rouge River, which is how it gets its elevation. And since this trail doesn't get as much riding as, say, Stony Creek or Addison Oaks or something like that, the dirt is quite soft, quite loamy. Feels really good. So for being inside city limits, you would be surprised with how much nature you see in here. I've seen deers, raccoons, snakes, all sorts of stuff. And the trail builders did a pretty good job getting some fun out of this little section. Here comes the hairpin section. Oh. Yeah. Then you can rip it. Yeah. Into this new section here. You know, my preferred trails to ride are usually the faster ones like Pontiac Lake, Potawatomi, Addison Oaks, Stony Creek. But I've really gotten a new appreciation for trails like this because I find them to be pretty hard. Tight turns, blind, you know, trees to avoid. It's not just about ripping, it's about picking good lines. Here's a good example of that, real off camber. Yeah. Super fun. Pretty exposed too for like a 2-mile loop. Yeah. You can't just like go full throttle through this, as you can hear by my squeaky SRAM brakes. Oh yeah. This is a fun one to open it up on. So we're about to pop out onto Joy Road here. I think it's Joy Road. This is the one tricky part if this is your first time riding here. since the trail is both sides of the river, you gotta pop out and cross over. There's no cars coming, so I'm going in the street. It's just something to keep in mind. I know that the volunteers and the trail coordinators are working on making the signage and the ride better so that you don't have to go through the street. Here's our little pop in right here. There's gonna be some signs soon, and it gets fun. Yeah. And this is called the crater section, and there's a real stupid, hard little climb here. The goal is not to dab around this right with the roots. But, all right. It's fun. Just these little tiny things can really help you get your skills up in unexpected places. So anyway, we're now on the east side of the river. This is usually where I see more of the wildlife. And to make this trail even more fun, there's talks of putting in as many features as possible. And kind of giving it that tree farm kind of vibe where you feel like you're kind of at a party in the woods. Like I said, I've been volunteering on this. The trail coordinators are awesome, and they're really working on putting in more signs and making this a good trail for more experienced people, or for, you know, neighborhood kids who want to get into it. And I think that's awesome, especially given the ethnic and racial disparities in our sport, meaning it's a whole lot of white people mountain biking. So in a majority black city like Detroit, I think that's a really cool thing to work with nonprofits and stuff to get anyone who wants to get into mountain biking into it. So one day I went for a ride, and I was trying to link up Rouge Park trails with all the Hines Park trails. And according to the trail coordinators, that's actually an official plan to be able to do that, which would just be so cool. Yeah, pop out into the field for a second here. They actually do RC plane stuff here that can get really loud and interesting. So anyway, back into the woods. So as I was saying, I did a ride starting here and following Hines Drive, trying to get all the way to the end of the Hines Park trails using as much single track and as little paved bike path as possible. And it's super fun. There's some bootleg trails along the way that are more fun than riding on the paved stuff. And I know there's talks of making it official. There's a deer running away right now. Sorry, Bambi. Here we go. A little rowdy section. Can't see the roots with all the leaves on the ground, but they're there. But yeah, one day I'll make a video on how to connect this trail with the with the Hines trails to make a big old ride. Super fun, and I'm not really a big distance guy, and I was able to do it. This is where it gets punchy and shaky and exposed. Super fun. Yeah, almost dabbed. Here we go. Sweet. Yeah, man, this type of old school riding is super fun when you're used to flow trails and stuff like that. This side has actually not really been worked on that much this year, but it's still super rideable. I know there's talks of working on this east side to armor it more, maybe add some more features, etc. But even as the ruggedness is right now, it's pretty fun. So 2 miles in here, it's actually a decent amount of elevation. Even though if you look at it from the street, you think there's nothing going on in there. We're coming through Hubcap Alley, as I like to call it here, for obvious reasons, straight ahead. If you look to the right, it's actually very beautiful down there. It just gets flooded out, which is why there's no single track yet. But who knows what the future will hold. Just pop out again. Beautiful Rouge River. See a little wood post here, meaning it's time to turn right and get back into the single track. I know there's some talk of putting more features and stuff over to my left. Maybe a pump track. We are almost at the end. One last little climb. If you want to do another lap, just stay right. Otherwise, pop out here and you just done your Rouge Park 2-mile single track. Hope you enjoyed this video. Gonna try to get some more footage of some lesser known, lesser ridden trails soon. So if you dig it, like and subscribe. Ride safe.